welcome NCAA Baseball post-game. University of Connecticut, Coach will take some opening statement and questions.
Thanks. I'm sorry for the players not being here. They're getting medical treatment and getting in cold tubs. And, we got boat raced. Did not perform up to our standards, certainly. Too many freebies. When we didn't give freebies early, we were throwing it up in the zone. When you do that, you're going to get hurt by Florida State. They didn't miss many, and they didn't miss many mistakes. And it was a long day at the office, tough day at the office. Fortunately, we've got another day to fight, and I'm thankful for that. But we struggled with the heat. I'm not going to hide from that. Struggled with the heat. We had both catchers had to leave for heat exhaustion. We did everything in our power from a hydration standpoint. Followed all the protocols for all week. We began that on Tuesday when we got home. Actually didn't get back to Connecticut until around 5 o'clock Tuesday, but we began that process during the day on Tuesday. And our athletic trainer, Katie Dan, does an amazing job and had those guys as prepared as they could, but there's no hiding from the heat and the acclimatization we did not do well with today. So that is not an excuse. Florida State flat out outplayed us, outcoached us, outpitched us, outcaught the ball. They did everything right. It was 24-3. I thought we were next door at Doak Campbell. Thought I was seeing Charlie Ward run around. 24-3 looked more like a football score, but it doesn't matter for tomorrow. We got to regroup and get back at it.
Take questions, please.
I guess if you just see the look, the body language on your guys' faces after the game that they'll be able to flush this and process it properly.
Yeah, we didn't want to talk too long in the huddle. We just had to get them out of there. I mean, I couldn't. We had our doctor here. We brought a doctor from home. Brought our athletic trainer was treating a couple guys below, and I needed to get Tamaro out of the game, but we didn't have an option to do that at third base. So that was the holdup there, because he was a little wobbly too, but we didn't have enough position players to go. So that's why you saw a pitcher hitting there late, and we need to get out of there. It's a long day when your guys aren't throwing strikes. One of the most frustrating things of the day was we bring in relievers, and with the exception of Garrett Coe, the first batter that each reliever faced, with the exception of Garrett Coe, was either walked or hit by a pitch. And that's really demoralizing for a defense. And you could see that in our defensive play. We're a much better defensive team than we showed today, and weren't ready to make a couple plays to bail those pitchers out when they had to be made. And but I don't have any hesitation. They'll be ready to go. They can turn the page. I've got a lot more respect for this group than that. I know that they're going to come out ready to go tomorrow and hopefully rejuvenated, refreshed, and see who we can have out there.
How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Jarrett, Tallahassee Democrat, local newspaper in Tallahassee. After a game like this, what do you tell your team? Because it's a quick turnaround, you have to come back out here in the morning. What do you tell your team, and what kind of approach do you take to kind of put this game to the side and move forward?
Yeah, it's one game. We've been used to winning series, and we lost some Friday nights. And we didn't lose any Friday this early, but we lost some Friday nights for sure. And we got to regroup. You got an 11 a.m. start. We've played some 11 a.m.s. We've played some 10 a.m.s. So I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I don't have to say that much with this group because it is such a mature group. I know that they're going to be able to turn the page. And it's another thing facing the guy that we're going to face tomorrow. I mean, that's going to be a heck of a challenge. But as far as flushing this and getting rid of it, today has nothing to do with tomorrow. That's why we have a 3-game set.
Any more questions?
Yes. Coach, Ian's giving you some really good innings as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Does today's start kind of a surprise to you?
Yeah, he hung a couple and wasn't locating his fastball early. He's been really good. He's been really sharp lately, and we've seen that kind of start from him, but it's been a long time since I've seen that kind of start from him. So frustrating, that we couldn't get off to a better. We get those 2 outs, and after we give something away for free, and think maybe we'll get out of this, and they were making us pay for everything that we gave today, and we did not make Florida State pay at all. We had a chance with the bases loaded there early. I think it's 8-0 or 8-1 maybe, and we don't get it done. And then in the 6th, I think we had them loaded with 1 out and get nothing out of that too. So got to be better with runners in scoring position, and got to shorten our swings a little bit. They went matchups there in the 6th, and they got us. Did a really good job executing pitches.
Anybody?
Is this all, does TV dictate everything when it comes to these start times? You guys are the last team, I think, to punch in, and you guys have to play the first game.
Yeah.
Were they set beforehand?
I'd love to know who determines that. I don't know the answer. I'd love to know who determines the start time. I know when we played 2 years ago, we went from Maryland to Stanford. Yeah, we went to Stanford and played. We started on Saturday because we just had to play Monday night in order to win that, and then they let us start on Saturday, maybe because we were going across the country. We were still going halfway across the country, in some ways worse in that we had to take 2 flights and not just one. We bussed home from Maryland it was not too bad a bus ride. So yeah, I was confused. We're never going to complain though. I mean, I'll leave that up to other people to determine, and we're thrilled to be here, and I don't want to blame anybody for anything. I just don't understand it. I think it's a lot to ask, to put it that way, but we're not gonna complain.
Anybody else said?
Coach, being down so many runs in the first 15 outs of the game, is that how difficult does it make kind of those innings where you could have got something, like it's a 5-run game?
In some ways, it's easier. Like if this is 9-8, we come back and make it. Let's say Minnick hits one out and it's 8-1, and we claw back in, and I use some of our better guys or our more trusted guys on the mound, and then we, lose a 1-run game. In some ways, it's harder to take that one. This one, it's just like, let's get out of here. We're getting boat raced. Let's get these guys in the hotel. Let's get them hydrated. Let's get them right, and hoping that Florida State used up all their runs, which I know is not the case, but. You want to have them just keep hitting and hitting and hitting, because we weren't coming back from that. It got down to, we're using guys that haven't pitched, and it's not fair to them. They haven't pitched in a really long time. They're not going to be sharp. But nothing was going our way today. The hit-by pitches, those 2 calls, I still don't understand. If we make that rule, and this has nothing to do with the outcome of the game, but if the coaches make the rules, we need to change the rule because obviously, but if that's being interpreted as an intent, Caleb Spur being intentionally hit when he's trying to protect his hands, then I don't know. We either have to change the rule, or whoever's interpreting that rule in Pittsburgh has never had a fastball up and in at their hands at 92 and having to protect those hands. So something's got to change there. But so it was a frustrating day overall for the coaches and the players.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.